We are fighting for as long, but I keep on fighting, keep on fighting, keep on fighting for as long. Keep on fighting, keep on fighting.
So as I leave, brothers and sisters, I want to bring to you today a brother whose life work is showing and proclaiming the favor of God. Because when you see a man with his family, y'all didn't hear me. This world is against family. This world teaches us that a heterosexual relationship can't work. This world teaches us that the black man doesn't love his woman. So I said, when you see a man with his family working out the life that we are being offered from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad through Minister Farrakhan, then you know that that man is proclaiming the favor of his Lord. So brothers and sisters, please put your hands together for our brother, your brother, Brother Student Minister Lee Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we give him praise for his goodness and mercy to the entire human family. We thank him for Moses and the Torah. We thank him for Jesus and the gospel. We thank him for Muhammad, through whom the Holy Quran was revealed. Peace be upon these worthy servants of Allah. We are forever grateful and thankful to Allah for his divine intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, who came and began knocking on doors July 4th, 1930 in Black Bottom, Detroit. Yes. We thank him for his wise choice of a divine leader, teacher, and guide, his messenger Messiah. We speak of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, a man who worked tirelessly for over 44 years to lay the foundation of the nation of Islam. We thank him for all of the giants that he produced, but we thank him most of all for the valedictorian of the ministry class. That, of course, is our champion of truth in this hour, yes, an extension of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in our midst, an extension of love and mercy and kindness. I'm speaking of that voice for the voiceless, that father for the fatherless, that friend for the friendless, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their names I greet you, the beloved of God. He said in the greeting words of peace, the language of our forefathers again, Assalamu alaikum.
Wow. Sir.
Today, brothers and sisters, we want to take up a subject entitled, What Gives You Value? What gives you value?
Yes, sir.
I want to make that plain because we have a tendency to easily see value in other people.
Right.
And fail to see value in ourselves.
Teach, man.
What gives you value?
Yes, sir.
When we take a picture with somebody famous or popular, we want to show that to everybody.
Yes, sir. Right.
You see this picture? Me and Michael Jordan. See this picture? Me and Bobby Brown. See this picture? Me and some great minister, or preacher, or evangelist. See, I'm with them. And you show the picture off because this is a person you see of value.
Yes.
And you want the people to know that because of your attachment to this person, somehow that gives you value.
Right. Yes, sir.
But you are just as valuable as the person you're taking the picture with.
Teach, man. Come on.
They had thousands of people who could knock out Mike Tyson. They never got their shot.
That's right. That's right.
You got people on the basketball court in Harlem who can fly through the air and do dunks and, turn around in the air, but they never got their shot.
That's right.
But they're valuable. So we have to stop trying to attach ourselves to see value in others and attach ourselves to them and learn to see the value of ourselves.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Our inability to see value in ourselves will ultimately affect how we relate to God, relate to self, and relate to other people.
Yes, sir.
Our relationships will suffer if we fail to see value in ourselves.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
In the Bible, Jesus was asked a question about the law. And Jesus said, and it's in red, Brother Rockman, so I know he said it.
Yes, sir.
Love God with all your heart,
Yes, sir.
all your mind, all your soul, all your strength.
Yes, sir.
And then love your neighbor as you love yourself.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So the love of your neighbor, your brother, your sister is predicated on your love for self.
That's
Teach,
right.
man.
So if you do not love yourself, your brother or sister does not stand a chance.
Right.
That's right.
If you don't value yourself, you will be unjust to yourself. And if you are unjust to yourself, you will ultimately be unjust to other people. So in our prayer, we ask Allah and pray to Allah to forgive us for being unjust to myself.
Teach, man.
Why? Because to be unjust to yourself means you have devalued yourself. And to devalue yourself, you're really devaluing God himself. Because if you are a part of creation
Yes.
from a mighty creator, why should you shortchange yourself? If you come from a great God, why should you be anything less than a great man or a great woman?
That's right. Teach, man. Yes, sir.
You on it?
But we have lost connection with God. We have devalued ourselves. And so we buy things with paper money that people, particularly Caucasian people, have placed a value on paper money. I don't have any cash on me right now, but for those of you who do, you can pull out your $100 bill and you'll see your old bin on there,
Yes, sir.
and there's a $100 bill.
Yes, sir.
If you saw a $100 bill on the floor and it didn't have nobody's name on it, you would quickly just put it in your pocket and keep on walking.
That's right. So fast.
Okay, everybody don't want to bear with it.
You're right.
Oh no, we're not in the hereafter yet, dear brothers and sisters.
Teach, man.
Come on.
Huh? If it's $1, anybody drop the dollar?
So that's questions.
Yeah. But 100, that's a little bit different. But what is the value of a $100 bill? Nothing more than what men have placed the value on it. What they say it is worth, we assume that that's what it's worth, but it is a Federal Reserve note.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay, let me break that down in layman's terms.
Yes,
If you don't know what a Federal Reserve note is, it means an IOU.
right. That's what
It means it's not really backed by anything of real value. It's an IOU note. And they don't claim what the value is because the dollar is fast collapsing. It's losing its value every day. Yet, despite it losing its value, our women still sell their precious bodies for a dead piece of paper. Our brothers are still shooting one another for a dead piece of paper. If you rolled up the $100 bill, it's not going to say, ouch, you hurting me, stop it. It doesn't doesn't feel pain. It doesn't feel emotion. Yet we put more value on the dollar bill and the $100 bill than we put on human life.
Right.
Because we live in a world that has devalued life.
That's right.
And has uplifted a material existence. But I'm here to tell you today, there's nothing of the material world that will ever satisfy the human being.
Right.
Nothing. You buy things and you get a nice car and you try to ride back in the old neighborhood. I must be talking to black folks. Let me ride back to the old neighborhood and see if I can see old Ray Ray and he can see me in my new Benz. Huh?
Show him something.
Huh?
Yeah.
Roll down and went, how you doing, man? I came by to see you. No, you didn't.
Show
You came by to be seen.
That's
Right.
right. Come on.
Because now you have something that you believe has granted you or given you more value.
Yes.
But cars will never give the human being value. Getting your nails done is not going to add value to you.
That's right.
Buying hair.
Watch out now.
Yeah, I'm going into some dangerous territory right now.
Yes, sir.
But sister, don't you, look, sister, don't you ever let nobody tell you it ain't your hair if you bought it.
That's right.
right.
Hey, he can.
Huh? If you pull out the receipt, this is my hair.
Yes, sir.
But we will spend hundreds of dollars to get something done on our head. But won't spend 45 minutes a day to put something in our head that will actually increase our value as a human being.
Yeah. Come on, come on. Hey, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Nothing in the material universe will satisfy man or woman because you are more than a material creature. Some men have made the mistake. I bought her everything.
Spoiled.
Mink coat, diamond rings. See, but if you ever read the book of Orange Juice Jones,
Well.
y'all never heard the book of Orange Juice Jones?
Walking in the rain.
Walking in the rain.
Walking in the rain.
Huh? You miss me, I miss you too.
Yeah.
I miss you so much I followed you today.
Yeah, that's right.
Huh? Now sit down. And then he began to take back all of the diamond rings and the mink coat. And I'm taking all this back because you thought that would satisfy her, but it did not satisfy her because you thought she was just material, but she's a spiritual creature crying out to a connection with her God.
Come on. Come on.
And if a man comes in her life that does not exhibit God, does not express God, does not have a connection to God, you can never hold a spiritual woman like that with material things.
Right. Come on. You own it, brother.
She's looking for God in a man.
That's right.
And a God in a man, yes, you got to be a provider.
Come on.
Okay, I got one sister.
Good.
You got to be a provider.
That's right.
But you got to provide on all different levels.
Right. Right.
You have to provide on an intellectual level.
Right.
Women don't want to be talking to children all day and then you come home and don't want to talk. She been talking to babies all day. She need a grown person to talk to.
Come on now. Come on.
She needs to engage in some intelligent conversation.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So she needs some intelligent or intellectual maintenance. She needs some spiritual maintenance.
Come on now.
When she's going through something, because she does go through something. See, men, we have a tendency to think that when we get sick, the whole world's supposed to stop.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's what we think.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When the sister gets sick, everybody looking at the sister, what we eating today?
Come on.
Looking at that recovery
Come on
time.
now.
I know you sneezing, I know you coughing, but we's hungry.
Come on, brother.
Yeah.
You don't think she goes through things? You don't think she needs a little comfort?
Yes, sir.
A little conversation? Baby, it's gonna be all right? Okay, y'all quiet. Okay.
Come on.
You teaching.
She needs to be maintained on all levels.
That's right.
Material is just one of the levels.
Right.
sir.
Right.
Okay? You gotta keep the lights on.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay?
Yes.
Please.
Don't let the lights get cut off. Talking about, baby, we're going to have a candlelight dinner tonight.
Oh, romantic.
Keep it romantic. Finance.
Right.
You try to have some romance without some finance, you have a nuisance in your house.
That's right.
Right or wrong?
That's right. You're right.
Beloved, we are spiritual creatures from a spiritual God.
Yes.
And we need a connection to that God. And that way, when we begin to grow into the knowledge of God and the knowledge of self, we will grow to love ourselves more, because we love that God with all our heart, soul, and strength. And once we find God in self, then our love of self will be amplified. And our love for self will be demonstrated in how we treat other people around us.
Yes,
so
sir.
love of God, love of self. You have to first love yourself before you love your neighbor.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm not making any sense.
You teach it.
Why can't material things satisfy us?
Oh.
Because man and woman are above all of creation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Teach, man.
Okay, let me say that again.
Come on. Come on.
Man and woman are above all of creation.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
It would be easier to recreate a whole new universe, sun, moon, and star, than it's actually considered to make a new people in total obedience to God. Why do I say that? Because the sun, moon, star, they don't have no choice. They have never disobeyed God. But man has a will. See, the way that God is going to show forth his power is that he's not going to force a people to submit. He's going to show forth his power by making a people willingly submit.
That's right.
Oh, did I say something wrong?
That's right.
Huh? Did anybody put a gun in your head to make you stop eating pudding?
No, sir.
sir.
Come on.
Okay, I heard somebody feeling.
No, sir.
You say what? Did anybody put a gun in your head and make you stop drinking alcohol?
No, sir.
Chasing women?
No, sir.
Doing drugs?
sir.
No, you willingly submit.
That's right.
Why? Because a mighty God is on scene today.
Come on,
with a
yes,
mighty
sir.
truth that is
Right.
present.
That's
And that
right.
truth, when it reaches our soul,
Yes.
and our soul has been yearning for this truth all of our life, we willingly lay it down and say, I submit to Almighty God alone.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man.
God didn't give us nothing materialistic to make us submit.
No.
He gave us something that our soul cried out for, and it was the truth.
True, bro. True.
Okay, all right.
True.
We are above all of creation.
Yes.
The sun and the moon, according to the Quran, was made subservient to man.
Yes, sir.
Come on now, you teaching.
Yeah.
Subservient.
Yes.
Yes.
Meaning the sun and the moon is to serve man.
Uh-huh.
Everything in creation is to serve man. Man, woman were given dominion over everything on the planet. Everything. Everything.
Everything.
So if you see a mouse in your house, sister, I know you're not going to try to hold a conversation with it.
No, sir.
But I'm here to tell you that mouse is more afraid of you than you are of the mouse. You are above that. Everything in creation. The chicken that we may have had last night. The chicken sacrificed its life
It is now.
for a human being to extend his life.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's
So the chicken was to serve man. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
The beans, the navy beans,
Come on, come
were
on.
made to serve man.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The fish that you caught from the ocean or the sea, that you boiled in the oven or put in the frying pan, you ate it to sustain your life. So the fish sacrificed its life for your life. It was to serve an extension of your life. Well, if everything under man was made to serve man,
Okay.
then what is the purpose of man?
Think about it.
See, we want everything to serve us, but we don't want to serve God.
That's right.
That's why we're here. If everything under us was to serve us, then our purpose is to serve God.
Come on, right. Come on. You don't say
Everybody don't want to hear that.
no, you said it. You said
The Holy Quran says Allah made the men and the jinn for no other reason but to serve Him.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So no matter what your gift or your talent or your skill is, you have to give glory to the God who gave you the talent, the gift, or the skill.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All praise be to Allah. Don't allow Satan to take your talent,
No.
your gift, and your skill
Come
and
on.
corrupt the minds of humanity that is not serving God, that is serving the will of Satan.
That's right. That's right.
God gave us a talent and a gift and a skill to move humanity forward, to increase the level of consciousness of the human being, that we may get closer and closer to God and manifest His attributes.
Right. Right.
Now, on that note,
Okay.
is my screen still up? All praise be to
That's what's
Allah.
like.
With that being said, there are valuable things in the earth. True?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have black people in Africa dying every day trying to get precious metals and gold just to fuel our iPhones. Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
Don't get upset. I'm not gonna tell you to boycott iPhones. Y'all didn't know I'm in the wrong place. I'm just saying there's valuable things in the earth. But how can you get the valuable things out of the earth unless you mine the earth?
Right.
Dig in the earth, extract from the earth, and then take that valuable material, clean it off, shape it up, and use it for the glory of God. How can you do that? Well, if you have to do that to the earth, what about the human being?
Okay.
Go ahead.
What is in the human being
Yeah.
that is yet to be mined out? See, they have a chart when I was in school. It was called the 99 elements.
Yeah, that's true.
Over the years, they have increased the elements
Yeah.
because they're still discovering new elements.
Right.
But there used to be just 99 major elements, and there are 99 attributes of God.
Come on.
Look
Come
at
on.
it.
Hey.
And then Elijah Muhammad, a little black man,
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
born in Georgia,
Good man.
went to the Muslim world and said, well, actually, there's a name outside of the 100 attributes of Allah.
Yes, sir.
Fraud. And I went on the internet yesterday,
Okay.
and they have discovered that there is a name. These Johnny-come-lately, they have discovered there is a name because they don't know where to place F-A-R-D.
Right, right.
Oh.
They've been trying. Where do we fit this? It's not in the Quran. It's not one of the attributes. Where is it? So now they have agreed that it has to be a name outside of the 100 attributes.
Look at it.
Come on.
Oh,
Look
look
at
out
that.
A little black man,
Look, look.
born in Georgia,
Yes.
taught by another man
Come on.
Yes, sir.
who said he was God in person. And he took the name Fard as a name outside of the 100 attributes because Fard means one we are obligated to obey.
Right.
Come on.
And if we obey that one will begin to manifest out of us all the hidden treasures that were in us that we didn't even know existed. We went from thinking we was a Negro one day to, boy, y'all can't tell me nothing.
Whoa.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
You know, back in the day, we used to play the dozens.
Yeah.
And you can say anything you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just don't say it about my mama.
Mama.
Right.
No mama jokes.
Uh-uh.
Off limits. But you can say anything you want to say about me.
Yeah, yeah.
And we call it scoring.
Right.
See, in South Oak Cliff, you had to master scoring,
Oh.
or you wasn't gonna last.
Oh.
So we scored, and we just belittled one another, and we took it.
Right.
Then when you become a Muslim, you find out who you are.
Right.
You ain't taking no jokes no more.
Right.
You're not gonna belittle me anymore.
Right.
Why? Because I know who I am now. I'm a self-respecting man or woman now. You can't talk to me
Right. Yes, sir.
any kind of way you want to talk.
Right.
Right.
Why?
Why?
Because we've discovered our value.
Goodness.
What is value?
What is it?
It is I'm not going to read off that screen. I'm going to read right here.
Oh, man.
The monetary worth of something. That's the first thing Mr. Webster puts in the dictionary. The monetary worth of something, as in the marketplace.
Yes, God.
A fair return or equivalent in goods, services, or money for something exchanged.
Come on.
Relative worth, utility or importance. Utility means something that's able to be utilized. Nothing has value outside of its ability to be used.
Right. That's right.
If you can't use it, it loses value.
Right. Right.
Right?
Right.
And most of us got 100 things sitting in our house right now
That's right. Losing back.
And you.
that we haven't used in 6 months to a year. Some things are broken,
Yeah.
but we're so attached to the thing, we can't move ourselves to throw the thing out on the side of the street.
I am.
Huh? The hardest thing I did in the past year was move.
Okay. That's right.
Right? Okay. We looking at all this stuff, right? Every time we move, we accumulate more stuff. So now we got to figure out what stays and what goes, right? So you have a stay pile, go pile. I'm putting stuff in the go pile. My wife goes to the go pile,
Put over the
moves
state.
it back in the stay pile. Now we had a rule now.
Law of nature now.
The rule was, if we haven't used it in 6 months to a year, let's get rid of it. But once you see it, oh, I think I can use this.
Yeah.
Because as long as it got some use in it,
Yes.
we gonna find value in it. Some of us got cars that right now are running on one wheel.
Watch out, man.
But in our mind, as long as it starts in the morning, gets me from point A to point B, I have value in this car. I'm gonna ride this car till all the wheels fall off.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Usefulness. So something such as a principle
Okay.
or quality, intrinsically valuable or desirable. You and I, brothers and sisters, have intrinsic value. Innate value. It's in our nature to be great.
Yes.
In the surah entitled Noah, Allah asked this question: what's the matter with you that you hope not for greatness from Allah?
Think about it.
Yeah, really think about this, because Allah is asking the question, what's the matter with you? That you hope not for greatness from Allah. Allah did not bring anybody in this room onto this planet to be mediocre, to be average, to be behind, to be a lowlife. Everybody in this room was brought on this planet to manifest the greatness that God placed in us from birth.
Right.
Right.
If an ant is doing what an ant is supposed to do, then the ant is living according to its nature, and therefore the ant is great. If the elephant, who's bigger than the ant, is doing what the elephant was put on the planet to do, the elephant is also great because it's service.
Yes.
It's duty. It's living according to our nature and being ourselves that renders us equal to everything else in creation.
That's right.
Am I making any sense?
Listen, teaching.
But if the ant is doing what the ant is supposed to do and we're not doing what we're supposed to do, then we're actually offending God.
Right?
Like size up.
What's wrong with us? What's the matter with us?
Doesn't matter.
That we're not shooting for greatness, to be the best
Yes.
that we can be.
That's right.
Now we live in a society that has devalued us. I'm talking about, in particular, black people.
Yeah.
Right.
And after devaluing us so much, they say now, you can be all you can be
Right. Get something.
in the army. In the army. And you go and we lose loved ones and lose a leg and lose an eye and come back, and then we still don't have freedom, justice, and equality. Because we have failed to see our value. Beloved, what is our value? Do you know that the sun is the greatest example in this physical universe of service?
Yes, sir.
Now you can be great, but greatness is not recognized outside of service.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
You can have a great thunderstorm. You can have a great tornado. A great flood can come. But if it leaves in its wake destruction and mayhem, you can just say that was great. That was a great tornado. But it wasn't good.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Because it didn't do no service to me.
Right. Right.
So to truly be great, you have to be of service. And the sun shines its light
That's right. Yes.
on the rich,
Yes.
on the poor,
Uh-huh.
on the lame, on the blind, the rich, the old, the young, the women, the men, the hypocrites,
Come on.
Come
the
on.
disbeliever, the believer,
Yes.
the enemy, the oppressor. It serves everybody
Right.
equally.
Right.
That's service. Now, of course, if we go too far off the path, then the sun can burn a little bit too hard. Is that right?
Thanks.
Do you know in 1 month, look at my finger,
One.
in 1 month, the Star Teleline, I mean the Star Telegram,
Uh-huh.
our local newspaper,
Yeah.
in 1 month, in August, 1 week, we broke a record of the hottest August ever since the 1800s. Broke a record. Broke a record. And in that same month, we broke another record of the most rain.
My Lord.
Extreme.
Look at that.
Extreme, baby.
So Elijah Muhammad taught us after the heat and the drought,
Yes.
the rain comes.
Uh-huh.
But the rain will not bring relief
No.
because the rain is going to bring floods.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters, if you don't see that this is by design,
Come on.
somebody with an intelligent mind
Right.
and has the power over the forces of nature
Yes.
is not folding up America while we speak.
Right.
And why is America being folded up?
Why?
Because there's something valuable in America
Come on. Come on.
that God is after.
Yes, sir.
And he's not going to stop until the enemy lets it go. And that valuable thing is the black man and the black woman. America is going to make you, me, go. He's going to let us go because God is going to strangle them until they give up.
That's
Right.
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 You understand? Listen. So, if he's after something valuable,
Yeah.
I went back, okay, all right. If he's after something valuable, how many of you ever read this? In Matthew 13 and 44, the kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again. You know how we do.
How we do?
You know there had to be a black man.
Say that for later.
You find something,
Yeah.
you hide it again. And then, in his joy, he went and sold all he had and bought that field. Because if you go into a field and you find gold in them hills, then there must be some more gold in them hills.
That's right. That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
So you don't want to just take the one piece of gold or the one piece of treasure. If there's gold in them hills, you want all of it for yourself. So if you found one, that denotes that there's another one.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And there's another one. And there's another one. So you buy the whole field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went and sold everything he had and bought it. So, this pearl evidently was worth more than he had. If he gonna sell everything for this pearl was gonna actually bring him a greater benefit or return. Now, if you are a merchant and you find this pearl, that means you gotta fish for it. Y'all with me?
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta fish for it. You gotta go into the sea and dig out the oysters and find the pearl. And when you find the pearl, now you got an investment. You and I, brothers and sisters, are people who have been reared and raised and have been living in the sea of sin,
Think about it.
i.e. America.
Yes. Make it plain.
Okay? In the book of Revelations, it says that in the last day, the sea would give up the dead. Well, how did the dead get in the sea? They got thrown overboard.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
That's right.
Now, if somebody is thrown overboard, the nature of water is to push everything to the shore. If it does not have power to swim back, it pushes it up to the shore to give living people a time and a chance to reclaim the dead body.
Right. Right.
If human beings, living people, don't reclaim the dead body, the waves will come back up and reclaim that body and put it back into the ocean.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, you teacher.
Our people are dead.
Yeah.
They're in the sea of sin. If you want to increase your value with God, then go after the people that God came to save.
Yes.
And don't let this world reclaim the dead back. Pull them out of the water and make them like yourself if you're a living man and woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me just go and cut to the chase.
Go ahead.
Elijah Muhammad is that pearl of great
Come on,
price.
now. That's right.
And I'm just going to get to the point.
Don't get to it.
Master Father Muhammad came and found one.
Yes.
See? That when Elijah Muhammad saw him, recognized him.
Recognize.
See, you can look at something
Yeah.
and not really see what you're looking at.
Yes, sir. That's true.
Talk about that.
You with me?
Yes,
So
right.
a lot of people saw him,
Yeah, there are a lot of
looked at him,
Looked at him.
but only one recognized him.
That's right.
Only one was born with a certain type of material that God could take and use to make an extension of himself.
Right.
Elijah Muhammad said, I know who you are.
Yes, he did.
You the one that the world been looking for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Huh? He said, yes, I am that. But who else knows
else
that
knows?
but you?
My Lord.
And he pushed little Elijah to the side.
He did.
A few months later, he called for Elijah. And he began to teach Elijah night and day about the mysteries of the universe,
Yes.
the time and what must be done, the judgment of America, breaking open all the prophecies of the Bible and the Holy Quran. And when Lucius B.I. asked Elijah Muhammad, well, how do you know that that man you met with was God Almighty?
Yes, sir.
He said he made me all up into himself. That's how I know.
That's how I know.
Because I know what I was before I met him.
Yeah.
And I know what I became after I met him. A power greater than this world had to have an effect on me.
That's right. Come on.
Y'all right?
Yes, sir.
In other words, Elijah pool increased in value and became Elijah Muhammad.
Yes.
One worthy of praise and praised much. Y'all right? Everybody
Yes,
good?
sir.
All right. So anyway, next slide. It is the next slide. The cattle. It says, praise be to Allah, who created the heavens and the earth and made darkness and light. Yet those who disbelieve set up equals to their Lord. He it is who created you from clay Then he decreed a term. And there is a term named with him. Still. Oh, I feel that air conditioner right there. Okay. He it is who created you from clay. Then he decreed a term. And there is a term named with him. Still you doubt. And he is Allah in the heavens and the earth. He knows your secret thoughts and your open words. And he knows what you earn. Now, in verse 2 it says, he it is who created you from clay. Why does God use the word clay?
Good question.
And God, you know that man and woman was created from a sperm cell.
Right.
God, are you trying to insult our intelligence?
Help us out, brother.
You know that a sperm mixed with ovum, that's what we came from.
Right there.
Why are you using the word clay? Because, I don't know, but this picture of Plato just popped in my head. Y'all know Plato, right?
Come on, yes, sir.
And we had it all on the white walls and everything. But with Plato, you can form it, you can fashion it,
Change the game.
you can shape it,
Yeah.
you can mold it, because once you mold it and shape it and you give it form, by shaping it and molding it, you can actually increase the value of it.
Right. Come on now.
A lump of clay is no good until you put it on a wheel.
Right.
And you begin to shape it, mold it, and make a cup or a bowl that you can use now to eat out of.
Okay.
So man and woman are valueless
Yes.
unless we are put in the hands of a great and mighty God who will shape us, mold us, and make us useful to all mankind.
Sir, teach, brother.
Y'all right?
Yes, sir.
Don't you want to be in the potter's hand?
Yes.
Come on.
Don't you want to be made new?
Yes, sir.
Then surrender to the potter.
Okay.
Surrender to the one who makes the clay. Because we had an opportunity to do it, but we blew it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we blew it.
Uh-oh.
See, because we could have took care of all of this in the womb.
Yes, sir.
We could have brought forth a God
Right.
from the womb.
Come on now.
But now, God has to intervene while we already got motion. And how do you make change when you already got motion? We here now.
Yeah.
Huh? We didn't made all our mistakes. Huh? We didn't lived our life. Huh? But I thank Allah, you know, brothers and sisters. Before Allah allowed me to mess up my life too bad.
Right.
There you go.
Too bad.
There you go.
Somebody put a tape in my hand
Yeah.
of the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan.
Come on now.
And I came to a screeching halt
Right.
from the direction I was going toward death and start going toward life.
Come on. Praise be to Allah.
And even though I had been made a Negro, a Negro means something that's lifeless and dead.
That's what it means.
From the word necros. Necros, the root of necros is dead bodies. So when you have a Negro, you're dealing with a dead person. See? So I had to drop out of Sambo University.
Watch out now.
Watch it.
I had to drop out. I heard that tape. I dropped out of Sambo University and I entered into the University of Islam to be made new. Right?
Yeah.
And my value, because of my submission, my value was increased.
Stop it up. Go ahead.
What happens?
And yours will be too.
Yes, sir.
So, beloved, what is it that will increase our value in the sight of God and in the sight of others, but most of all, ourselves? I had a picture up here, but I took it down for some reason. But it was a kitten. Y'all just imagine it.
Okay.
It's a kitten looking in the mirror. And what was looking back at him was a lion.
Okay.
And the caption read, The only thing that really matters is how you see yourself.
Already.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if you are a lion, right, and you look in the mirror, but you see a kitten,
Oh, man. Come on. Come
then
on.
you will never manifest
Come on.
the greatness that God put in you.
No growing. Wow.
Good example.
That makes sense?
Makes
sir.
sense.
But this whole educational system
Ooh.
has black people thinking
Yeah.
that we're black because we're cursed.
Mm.
We were meant to be slaves, hewers of wood, drawers of water. Some kind of way we're slower, we're dumb, we're not as smart because we're black. And that couldn't be further from the truth.
Come on, come
Right,
on.
man.
If somebody gets you and I to see less of ourselves, then we will behave less than ourselves.
That's right.
But you are in fact the king of the jungle.
Yes.
Right.
You just gotta stop seeing yourself as a little kitty cat and see yourself as the lion that you are, which is the king of the jungle, and take your rightful place
Yes.
and be a man and be a woman.
Yes, sir.
Everybody all right? Y'all good?
Yes, sir.
So anyway, let me get to my point.
Okay. All right.
What makes us great?
Makes us great.
In the eyes of Allah. In the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians are these words. Though I speak with the tongue of angels, though I have the gift of prophecy, though I give my body to be burned, if I have not charity or love, I am nothing.
Come on.
Nothing.
Nothing.
In this dispensation, oh, by the way, this is Closing the Gap, page 46. In this dispensation, it is love that makes you something in the eyes of Allah God.
Say it, man.
Because it is only love of Allah God and love of the truth and love of the purpose for his coming and love of the people for whom he came that would cause you to have value in his sight. Did y'all get that?
Yes, sir.
See, in the Bible, when God visited Egypt, he didn't just visit Egypt to take a tour of Egypt, and take selfies. I mean, they didn't have cameras back then. But draw a picture of me out in Egypt.
Right.
No, he had a purpose for going to Egypt.
Okay.
And his purpose was to free a whole people from bondage.
Right.
And God is asking us to be involved in that work,
Yes.
to be involved in that process. God don't need none of us.
Right.
Make it
Right.
plain
Right.
now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that again.
Say it again.
He don't need none of us. Because the Quran says he can choose a whole new people
That's right.
and wouldn't miss this is my footnote. Wouldn't miss a blink. He can choose a whole new people. But he just so happened to choose the rejected and the despised, black man and woman, for his glory. That's his purpose for coming. And when we realize that purpose and we become involved in that purpose, we increase our value in the sight of Almighty God.
That's right.
Y'all with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Next it says, moving right along,
Come on, move on.
love is not proud. Love is long suffering.
Oh, Lord.
Love endures all.
Yeah.
It hopeth all. It has to be the spirit, the attitude of a person that has been called by Allah God to act as a redeemer. The price he must pay is to be all but completely selfless.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead now.
Because wherever the self is, the ego is.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Lined
sir.
up.
Y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And the desire to retaliate is. And the nature of vindictiveness is. And the unwillingness to suffer is. Sidebar.
Okay, so.
Sidebar. I don't know. Somebody may have a problem with me.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Unless you tell me.
Right. Yes, sir.
But I made up in my mind. I'm not going to be angry or hold a grudge with any believer in God.
Come on now.
Because what I've come to realize is that my relationship with Allah will never be intact as long as I hold on to negative feelings about anybody else in his creation.
Come on now.
You can hate the heaven out of me. That's on you.
That's on you.
But I'm moving toward God.
Yes, sir.
So the Bible says don't go to sleep angry.
Come on.
And that if you are angry with your brother or your sister and you realize you got something against them, before you go to the altar and offer your sacrifice, and you realize you got something against your brother, leave your sacrifice at the altar and go reconcile with your brother.
That's it right there.
Why? Because your sacrifice means nothing if you holding on to grudges and angry with somebody else. Your prayers fall on deaf ears. That was a slow response because y'all thinking about all the people.
That's right.
Whoa.
That you've been mad at for years.
Uh-oh.
And they ain't even thinking about you.
Thought about you.
You need to let some stuff go.
That's right.
Because one thing I've learned about, see, in the Nation of Islam, another sidebar.
Okay, sidebar.
One thing I've learned about the nation, I had to tell my brother this because he didn't know this. You know, it's when somebody dies in the nation, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that it's the responsibility of the community to wash the body and bury the body. He said, Allah said to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that if a few Muslims take on that responsibility, then nobody else is held responsible. But then he said, if nobody in the community does it, Allah gonna hold everybody responsible. Now, I don't know if you've ever had to wash a body. But when you wash a body, you come face to face with the reality of death and the fleeting nature of life itself. And you learn to appreciate life. Because you realize whatever you wanted to say,
Can't say it.
can't say it now. And you never know when Allah is going to take somebody you know from this planet and you never reconcile with that person.
That's a fact.
Right.
So, back to the point.
Okay.
The ego is, the desire to retaliate is, the nature of vindictiveness is, and the unwillingness to suffer is. See, you and I can't redeem a people if we can't take plenty.
That's right. That's true.
You had to, look, brothers, you can't go out trying to, give somebody a final call newspaper and they cuss you out and you start cussing them out too.
Come on now.
They don't work.
You can't do that.
That's right.
When I first came to the nation, my captain told me this. And I used to go off to him and say, confession is good for the soul.
Okay.
You start fussing at people. Like, wake up! My captain said, brother, you can't blame a dead man for stinking.
That's true.
That's right.
Think about it.
Think about that.
If you go into a mortuary, right, you see a dead body, it started having an odor, you gonna blame it on the body? It's dead.
That's right.
Not his fault, right? So you just gotta look at our people like, man, Satan did a job on us.
That's right.
Right? And we have to have patience with our people the same way somebody had patience with us.
Come on, brother.
Right.
Now you're teaching.
Now you're teaching.
Somebody kept working on me and I didn't even realize they were working on me.
You know it.
Because I kept ignoring them. But they kept working.
Yeah.
They were patient. So we have to be patient. To be a redeemer, you have to have patience.
That's right.
And you have to have love.
Got
Right.
Love is not an emotion.
It's not. You say it now.
Okay? See, the worst thing you can do is base your idea of love off of the radio. From the book of Keith Sweat. The book of Keith Sweat says, There's a right and a wrong way to love somebody. Okay, y'all don't know the, okay.
Yeah, we
Y'all don't want to bear witness. Yeah, old Keith says it's a right and a wrong way to love somebody.
That's right.
But love, so teaches the Honorable Miss Louis Farrakhan, is not this little mushy emotion. It really is the mother of all emotions.
Right.
It's really a force
Yes, come on.
that
now.
moves everything in creation.
Yes.
It's the love of God that moved God to bring universe into existence. It's the love of God that made him the beneficent God.
Come on, come
That
on.
in the Surah 55, the beneficent, it said everything you needed when you got on this planet, it was already here.
Yes.
A beneficent God.
Beneficent.
Love is what moves God because love is a verb. Love is not something you just say. Love is something that you demonstrate in your activity every day.
That's right. Hey.
I love you, baby.
You gotta do some work.
Well, I've been married to a black woman long enough to know that's something you gonna have to prove every day.
Right. Sure enough.
Every day.
Sure enough. Right.
Because when you eat, like when you ate yesterday,
Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock roll around, your stomach ain't gonna ask you about what you ate yesterday.
No, sir.
Is it?
No, sir.
But I gave you some good bean soup yesterday, yeah.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. From the book of Janet Jackson.
Okay, wait a minute.
What have you done for me? Not lately, today. Y'all right? Okay. All right. Did it change? Good. Oh, did it change twice? Okay. Allah, God. Okay, that's where we at. Allah must have wanted me to move forward. Okay. Allah, God has to make you selfless.
Yes.
And only when you are selfless are you not offended by the wickedness of those whom you have come to save. I do not say you are unaffected in that it does not hurt you,
Right.
but you cannot respond as a natural man or woman. You must respond according to the nature of love and the nature of yourself as a redeemer.
My Lord.
Now, brothers and sisters,
Yes.
you and I, what time is it? Okay. Y'all right? Can I have a few more minutes?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. 30 more. Oh, you teaching.
30 more minutes. According to the Bible, God made man in his image and in his likeness. So that means we got something in common with God. We are an extension of him. See? How many of you can pick up your children from a school or a mall and you drive up and you can recognize your children from the back of their head? Yeah, that's little peanut head right there.
Right there.
That's your child. You recognize this. And if somebody reports to you, the police reports or the principal reports, your child has been acting up. Now if they call you and say, well, I know you don't know Mrs. Jones' child, but Mrs. Jones' child has been cutting up in class. You be like, what you calling me for? Right? You're only concerned when it's your child. Why? Because your child is a direct extension of you. They represent you. So you are concerned with their representation of you. Because if they act bad, you're going to be looked at as a bad parent.
That's right. Come on.
Right or wrong?
Right.
So if we're made in the image and likeness of God and we say we're the children of God, you don't think God is concerned how we act every day?
Yes, he is.
How we behave every day?
Yes,
If we're supposed to be representatives of him on earth?
Yeah.
So the Quran says God made man his Khalifa, one who stands in the place of God, acting on behalf of God, in the absence of God.
Right.
That's Khalifa, that's ruler.
Yes.
So the Quran says Allah placed a ruler in the earth. In the earth. See? It didn't say on the earth. we know we got a ruler on the earth, but it said in the earth. Because if you don't have a ruler in the earth, then you can't rule what's on the earth. You are the earth.
That's right.
Everything in your body can be found in the earth because ultimately you came from the earth.
That's right.
So if God says, I'm going to put a ruler in the earth, he's going to put a ruler in you,
Yes, sir.
in me.
That's right.
And where God wants to reside is on the brain of man.
That's right.
So the Holy Quran says that the throne of God is ever on water. And your brain sits on water.
Right.
It controls and dominates and rules every other part of the body. If somebody is brain dead, they dead. You understand? So that's where the ruler desires to sit. The brain. So teaches the Honorable Ms. Louis Farrakhan. And the self is the most undiscovered thing in the universe. I mean, we done took pictures of Pluto, Mars. We done went to the depths of the ocean. But we have yet to discover the real power of the human brain. Then the Honorable Ms. Louis Farrakhan says, we build buildings. Now watch this, brothers. I never could understand why a group of people will put their money together to buy a church. And then as soon as they get in the church, they start fighting, fussing with one another, and then the church starts splitting off in different directions, right? Why did you buy the building? Why?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you were more concerned with a building versus building proper relationships between people? We give more honor and respect to buildings than we do to other human beings.
Come on now.
So we respect the mosque, we respect the church, we won't curse. When I was in the Catholic Church, if my brother wanted to get the truth out of me, he would always catch me in the Catholic Church. You can't lie, because you in church.
You in church.
We couldn't throw anything on the floor in the church. We couldn't write on the walls in church. We couldn't curse in church. We couldn't lie in church. But this body
Yes, yes.
is the most magnificent structure in the universe. It is the temple of God, yet we show so much disrespect for it.
Yes.
And when we see another human being, we don't respect another human being that's made in the image and likeness of God.
Right, brother.
So only when you come into the West do you see people say hi. Hi. What's up? When you go to the East, guess what they do in the East?
Bow.
They bow.
That's right.
They bow. What are they bowing to? Bowing to the essence of the Creator, the essence of God that's in you. They know we all are one. Say He, Allah, is one. All of us are connected in one way or another.
Yes.
That's right.
Allah is one.
That's right.
So, there's nothing more valuable than what God has put together from His mind versus what man has put together from their hands. And so beloved, I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Good time.
Take your time.
What gives you value? Did you know? I'm pretty sure you know this. I don't want to insult your intelligence. But you know that the worst yet necessary investment that you can make is a car.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yet that becomes our status symbol. But as soon as you roll it off of the lot, the moment you roll it off that lot, it begins to decrease in value. I mean, the clock is ticking.
Fast.
Oh, you just went 10 miles, 20 miles. Because when you try to sell it, what's the first thing they're going to look for? How many miles you can put on it? It immediately begins to lose value. And then at a certain point, when you're about to throw it away or get rid of it, somebody else can take that car, do a makeover on that car,
Yeah.
put a new engine in that car, tint those windows, get new tires, get a new paint job, and increase the value of that car that you were willing to throw away.
That's true. Think about that.
Do you know that when Master Father Muhammad came, according to the scripture, we are people that nobody wanted?
Nobody.
Dead, the lost sheep, the stone that the builders rejected, nobody wanted us. But somebody, God himself, saw value in us.
Right.
He knew, he wasn't looking at what we were and how we looked and how we acted. He was looking at the potential of the black man and woman.
Right.
And he said, if I could just give them a makeover, give them a new thought, a new mind, a new way of thinking, I can increase the value of black people, and that he did, and that he is doing in our midst today. All praise be to Allah. Yeah, just need a new motor.
That's it.
That's what we need to do. That's right.
Just need new education.
Come on now.
All right?
Update the maps.
So, now, another thing that has to do with value is supply and demand.
Yes.
Okay.
Right? When you have a low supply and a great demand, then what you want, they sell it more for more money.
Yes, sir.
Right or wrong?
Right.
When the pandemic first started, we sat back, me and my wife sat back, we watched the news. They was fighting over toilet paper. Extremely fighting over toilet paper.
Yes, sir.
Now anybody that spent any time in the country,
Come on.
you're not gonna fight over no toilet paper.
Yes, sir.
You improvise.
Too many avenues.
Huh? What are y'all talking about? I mean, you could be you're not fighting over navy beans or nothing like that. Toilet paper.
Yeah.
But
Because they was afraid if they ran out of anything else, they did not want to run out of no toilet paper. Okay?
right.
And willing to fight somebody over it. Because of supply and demand.
Messy situation there.
So when something is in short supply, it increases in value. Now, I said all that to say this. This world is in short supply of more than just toilet paper. This world is in short supply of good leadership.
Right.
Yes. Come on now.
This world is in short supply of leadership with character.
Yes, sir.
This world is in short supply of leaders with courage.
Yes.
Leaders with faith.
Come on.
Leaders with love. They are in short supply of leaders who are in a redeeming set of mind that will give themselves up to save humanity. So this is what makes the Honorable Ms. Louis Farrakhan the most valuable black man walking on the planet today.
That's
Because he
right.
represents a new kind of leadership.
Yes.
Sir.
Now, said that to say this. I said that for a reason.
Okay.
Go back. Between 1969 and 1970, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking to Minister Farrakhan.
Okay.
Now, I want y'all to think about this before I read it. This is one black man talking to another black man.
Yes, sir.
See? Now, you know, as black men, we don't get all mushy with another black man.
That's a fact. That's a
Okay.
fact. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
fact.
So, man,
Tighten up.
right, man. I love you, dog. Yeah. You should say I love you, God, because the dog is God spelled backwards.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
You know. But we'll lose somebody, we'll pull somebody on the street for them, you know, because we love, you know. Somebody asked Mr. Farrakhan one time, you know, should men cry? And like, you got tear ducts, don't you?
Come on now.
What kind of question?
What God gave you tear ducts for?
Think about that.
You know? Then they say real men cry in the dark.
Boy, they did that.
God crying in the open over our condition.
Right.
True.
So here's one black man talking to another black man, and he says, brother, you're more valuable to me than a truckload of diamonds
Sure did.
and gold.
That sure did.
On another occasion, he said, brother, you are more valuable to me than 1,000 airplanes with 1,000 head of sheep on every plane. On a third occasion, see, I would have just fell out on the first time he said something like that to me. Huh? Or, you know, we would have got big head.
Yes, sir.
Somebody said the first thing we would have got big head, right? But Minister Farrakhan remained humble. On the third occasion, he said to his minister brother, you are more valuable to me than all of the wealth that is in the earth. Because the wealth of the earth I met when I came here, and I shall leave it when I'm gone. But through you, I will be able to get all of my people, and all means all. So his value in the sight of Elijah Muhammad was his ability to communicate the teaching and call people to a better way of life.
Yes.
And guess what? If we get behind the leadership of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan and we help him,
Yes.
we can't be him, but we certainly can help him, then
That's
we will
right.
increase our value in the sight of Allah and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
That's the
Yes,
point
sir.
I'm trying to make.
Well, good point.
All right?
Good point.
So, lastly, Minister Farrakhan says in Close the Gap, page 409, we're valuable. We are precious in the sight of God because time and circumstances has fashioned us into the material that can be utilized to make a government, a world that will never, ever end. Now, you hear people and see people wearing these Black Lives Matter shirts.
Okay.
Black Lives Matter. But the material, when somebody wants to create something, car, house, whatever, they have to gather material, right?
Right.
Right.
And the material doesn't matter until the idea of the carrier of the idea wants to use the material for a purpose. In other words, wood has no value and wood doesn't matter unless somebody with an idea takes that wood and then form that wood into a house that becomes useful.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, it don't matter.
Right.
So if you say Black Lives Matter, then Black lives will only matter unless Black lives are willing to be used for the purpose of God.
Right.
In other words, the material didn't matter until an idea to put it to use came into existence.
Right.
The material in the universe had no aim, had no purpose until God used the material to bring in a material universe. So, no use, no purpose, no value. It's the purpose of God is what makes us precious. The purpose of God is what makes us valuable.
Yes, sir.
So, beloved, if you and I want to increase our value, then let's invest in ourselves.
Right, right,
See? Stop wasting valuable time
right.
Right.
and start using time to better yourself. I'm going to close with this point. What is the greatest contribution that Sister Ava gave to the nation and to the world? She helped produce the study guide.
Yes, sir.
Self-improvement, the
Yes.
basis for community development.
Sure did.
So if you want to honor her,
Yes.
what's the best way to honor her? By taking advantage of the work that she helped produce, what she lived for, what she strove for. Brothers and sisters, as we improve ourselves,
Yes.
as we invest in ourselves, and then give of ourselves selflessly to see a whole people rise up out of their condition, we will increase our value in the sight of God, and we will be considered a very valuable and precious
Right.
people.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
May Allah bless you.
Yes, sir.
With the light of understanding, as I greet you in peace, Assalamu alaikum.
We are fighting for Islam. Gotta keep on fighting, keep on fighting, keep on fighting.